how long this is gonna last, but we're here. Alright. Welcome back to doing nothing. Well, I'm gonna be doing something. I'm gonna be working on some craft projects, making some monsters. If you want to have me running in the background so you feel like you're being watched, so you're productive, gotta get that housework done before tomorrow. You do you, boo. Meantime, I'm gonna watch Survivorman because I want to. Grenada. I don't know how I cut the palm of my hand, but it itches.
Our one and only hand-tossed PC Black Label frozen pizza, only $7.99.
Beautiful palm trees, sandy beaches, and it's got a ridge of mountains running right down the center.
I got nervous. Stressed lately, so I chewed off all my fingernails and I can't pick up anything.
Here, Grenada. Welcome to the jungle.
In jungles around the world. Don't you wish I had the rights to the GNR song when I said that and could have just gone right into the riff? Down. Would have been good.
World, I've become used to a few things. Being hot, wet, afflicted with rashes and fungus, or constantly bitten, stung, or crawled on. Mostly by ants.
But speaking of Guns N' Roses, their producer, Mike Clink, who produced all the Guns N' Roses albums, also produced my album Mother Earth and my album Bitter Lake, and is producing an upcoming album. So, a little sideways trivia there. Oh, look at that pack. So that is my waterproof pack for my camera gear. I have that still wicked downstairs. And I've been debating whether I should put it up for maybe a charity for an auction. If somebody wants to own one of the Survivorman camera packs. Let me know down below if you think I should do something like that. Because a lot of the stuff I have from Survivorman years is just looking off. You know, I wish I'd held on to a few things, certain fire bows and packs and even some cameras. It would have been fun to auction those off.
Now, funny thing about these buttresses on these trees is they look so magical. They actually look inviting, but it's not a good place for me to survive the night. It's just horrible ground, nothing's flat, and a lot of critters like to go in here. Spiders, snakes. Beautiful tree, but not a good place to survive.
Which, by the way, it brings something to point, is that I've never seen any indigenous culture, group of people that are in the jungles that use those for shelters. Maybe they exist, maybe somebody else can show a picture of one, but I've never seen them use those as a base or as part of a shelter. And I think the reality is that the creatures just love them so much, there'd be no point. You'd be crawled upon all night long.
I'm looking for flat ground. It's always sounds in the jungle. It's always sounds. I'm not familiar with them. They're kind of freaky.
That's an interesting point. You know, when it comes to being comfortable in a survival situation, and comfortable in the wilderness, so much comes down to sound. You know, you put me in, well, a lot of places now, of course, but certainly, say, in Ontario, Canada, I can tell you what every sound is. Every single, and you know, with my experience, I've gotten to the point where I can hear something walking in the woods, and I can say to you, that's a raccoon. You know, that's a coyote. That's a bear. I can tell the difference. And little side, here's a funny one as well.
Damn, that runs quick.
Just to tell you how often I've been crawled upon, I can blindfold it, put my arm out, put something on my arm, and I can tell you whether or not it's an ant, a spider, a mosquito, or a tick, just by feeling the crawl.
Ugh.
It's kind of creepy when you think about it.
That's not a good superpower. It's like the worst superpower. I don't want to know.
Rock in the way, but little body-sized area here that's flat. Really gotta watch for top ants. They just crawl on the ground, among the trees. Well, one thing's for sure, you know it when you find one. Okay, I'm gonna have to get used to sitting without sitting, because the ground is always crawling with something. Ecosystems are living, breathing entities unto themselves, but jungles exemplify this concept and exist as the most rich and obvious example of a land alive and moving. With the sun going down, I'm not going to take a lot of time to go through all my pack. I'm going to do that in the morning. This time, got this guy here. Simple orange garbage bag, because this is cloud forest. And clouds mean rain.
And I know that, in this situation, I realized, I've never really shown just using an orange garbage bag, at least not that often. So, okay, I'm going to a rainy area, going in Grenada. What could I use in there? What can I show off? What can I teach them?
There we go.
All
Some
right, well,
claws
let's
on
give
you.
the advantage on my side.
You do need to
go
stitch
with
that
the,
back up.
orange garbage bag,
So
which should
I'm
help a
going
lot
to get a
when it
brown
comes
thread
to
for that.
the
Or a
torrential
light one.
downpours that
Light would work
are
too.
inevitable. We need more than this. That's for certain. But I got a machete. Each type of landscape requires its own version of a cutting tool that works well. And in the jungle, it's always going to be a machete. Yeah, that's very, very true. What's your favorite knife? Where am I going? It depends. For example, outside right now in Canada in the wintertime, what happens to be that time of year, I want an axe. I don't want a knife, I want an axe. Don't want a machete either, I want an axe. Down in the jungle, always a machete. Other situations, like maybe a desert, well, maybe just a knife. So it always, the ecosystem will determine what kind of cutting tool you have with you.
Excitement in an instant. And shorts as big as the action. Play more than 450 online casino, instant wins, and bingo games with Atlantic Lottery. Transform for black at alc.ca.
What is a good place to get lots of
Uh-oh.
spikes for cheap? Cannot pick up
That's
anything.
not fair.
Like the
I'm
little
not ready.
screw-in spikes that you use for leather and stuff.
boy. I
Where's a
can
good
get it.
place to get a lot of them for stupid
I do not
cheap?
want to spend the night wet. Not much of a shelter, but it'll have to do. Yeah, here comes some rain. This speaks, by the
My
way,
finger is in
to
so
my
much
shelters.
pain.
I've always said my shelters suck. They always do. Now they're not. They don't suck if you give me the time. You may see some of this stuff that people are doing now in their bushcrafting. Outdoor Boys, for example. The shelters look phenomenal, but first of all, they're not being made in one day. Bear that in mind. Those things are not being made in one day. But they are being made with tools and a full belly and energy and water. Big, huge difference. So when I would go out and do recreational survival, my shelters would be pretty sexy. But in Survivor Man, I had to run all of the camera gear, film the story, everything that's going on, and made it very, very difficult to make really cool shelters. So my shelters, I gotta admit, throughout the whole Survivor Man era, I think my shelters suck. Now, did they work? Yes. So it does show you that they can work. And the reality is most people's shelters suck, especially at first, especially if you've never made one before. If you're making them all the time, if you have, as I say, food, water, and tools, well, you can make a house, right? So that was kind of one thing that was always a little bit of a disappointment to me in Survivor Man, was that I couldn't make a real sexy shelter. There's another guy on YouTube that's doing all these different shelters. I remember he did one, I really didn't even watch it. I don't know why people watch those for so long. I'm like, okay, I get it. And I don't watch them, but I've seen them, snippets of them. He did one completely out of plastic, I think. He just saran wrap or something like that. To him, kudos, man. It's like these guys are having fun out there. I couldn't do that. I was teaching survival. And they're often doing it to the guys who are teaching survival, and that's kind of not fair because they have tools, they have food, they have water. They're basically just glorified camping alone. Full 4-season sleeping bags, good for the year. And someday when I do my talk on the other shows, such as Alone, I'll talk about that, about when you have supplies with you and how long you can really last. Shelters, man, they take all day and they're labor intensive. I really don't like having to make shelters, to be honest with you.
Much better.
Cover up the camera.
And then put claws in the other
Really
guy.
pelt down here, so. And of course I got a rip in this. Shoot. That's not good. This is a survival bracelet of sorts. Now, I've brought this out basically to test it out. Rain's coming in, and I need rope. Now, how do I undo this? Now, I remember wanting to show this bracelet
I have a little cut right there.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the
hurts
survival
so
bracelets with
much.
little stuff inside and the twist and a poke on that. I'll tell you why. Maybe I say it on the show, I can't remember, but I'll tell you why when we get into it. Okay, so this one actually, the rope is wrapped around a little miniature
tinfoil wrapped survival kit inside. Welcome to the world of filmmaking. Hold off, Rain, hold off. See a lot of people wearing these bracelets now. I'm a big fan of any survival item that you can wear on your body, carry with you easily and not have to put in a pack. But you gotta learn how to take them apart. With Rain threatening, I cut it so I could get it apart faster. I hopefully didn't do something stupid.
It's often thought that there are black and white answers to what someone must do in a survival situation, but there never is. It'll always be an ordeal fraught with variables and circumstances that'll dictate what my next move is. It's equal parts preparation, proactivity, and reacting to whatever I have to face.
This is the little survival kit that comes
Cut
with it.
one
But you
thread.
wait till...
If I cut two, it'll open too much.
And all I really lost was pieces big, so obviously I cut it in the right spot to get this rope.
So I don't think I talk about it too much. But, so why am I not a fan of those braided survival bracelets and belts and so on? Because they're a pain in the butt. Like in this situation, that rain was coming in. I had to hurry. You can't hurry with those things. For me, I'd rather just have a kit. Rope that... I mean, think about it. Any items that are in a survival... speak less. Any items that are in a survival kit, you need in a situation that's important and vital and might be life or death. So you don't want to have to be fiddling, trying to get something undone or a lid open or anything like that, or have something that's flimsy that's going to break. Your survival items, I could go on for, this whole director's commentary could be on items in survival kits. And there is. I did do a full video on this YouTube channel. Just go Survival Man or Survival Kit, and it'll come up somewhere in a playlist, where I dissect survival kits, including my own. Okay, but the point being that you should think of them like they're a first aid kit. You don't keep crap in a first aid kit because you might need to repair an injury of some sort. You want to have good stuff. And it's the same thing with survival gear. Don't buy the junk that you get in Canadian Tire or some store, Walmart, where it's just a little kit, a little big, red kit or something like that. And say, survival kit, all in one. Don't do it. They're crap. Every survival expert that's come out with these kits, they're crap. And the reason why they're crap is because to have a proper survival kit, it's over $100, and these things are $12.75. That you can't. A proper survival kit is not going to cost $13. You tend to spend well over $100 on survival kit equipment. And any real survival instructor out there that's worth their salt knows that I speak the truth. This little guy will make your own kit. Buy a pre-made one. But even a pebble will work. Take it, put it in, wrap the plastic around it. Like this. Like this. Okay. Put that through. I better start hurrying and stop teaching because here comes the rain, I think. Oh, you know what? It's actually pouring out there. You son of a... Jungle rain rarely announces itself as coming. They just happen every single day.
I'm in it now. I'm in the jungle. I just hope I can survive without getting too soaking wet.
Rain combined with heat brings the potential for rashes and fungus infections.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
I have a feeling that this is the way the week's gonna go.
Rain, lack of sleep, insect bites, injuries.
Get some claws on it.
Pay attention to the odds.
I just posted online that I had a bunch, or I had a few at the shop, and I found this guy, and I found a purple one, and then a two-headed bunny, so I'll also drop those off to the mall as well.
And the seams are out and biting. Little tiny biting flies. Lots of them. I'm just gonna wait this night out. Try and find myself a good rock to curl up on tomorrow. Middle of the day. In the shade. That's the thing about survival. You always end up needing to sleep in the middle of the day because you don't really sleep through the nights.
Yeah, the loudness, the sheer volume of the critters in the jungles of this world let's put it this way. If you are on a jungle expedition, take earplugs and you can sleep like a baby, because otherwise it's so loud that, for me anyway, it becomes incredibly difficult to sleep through.
And tomorrow night I better have a better shelter. It's rare that anyone does the right thing on the first night of a survival ordeal. Shelters aren't considered until it's too late. Fire is forgotten until it's too dark to find wood. And inevitably, the scene is set for what comes next. Surviving with little sleep, which compromises my ability to make good decisions.
And so that is something that I've had to remind a lot. Let me put it this way. I will see the post of somebody who doesn't know my work, who just sees like one show and it's like trying to rip me a new one sort of thing, because I don't know, they've been busy watching Naked and Afraid or something, and they want to give me advice on survival, and they don't get, why wouldn't you just do this? It's like, all right, again, understand the premise here. The premise most of the time for Survivor Man was for me to put myself in your shoes and be someone without the equipment, without the experience, without the knowledge, and that way I can go through things a little more realistically that you can relate to. Well, the true reality is that you don't find yourself on day one of a survival situation and maybe figuring that out at 4 p.m. and all of a sudden you're building a beautiful shelter, or even getting a fire going. I mean, most of the time, the first night of survival for anyone is spent sitting up against a tree,
Right.
miserable, cold, tired, scared. So
That's for you.
me, I often, I purposely didn't attempt to be a survival
See, I'd
guru
like to
on the
do
first day,
spikes.
'cause that wouldn't be realistic.
They're too
So let me get
small
myself
for the
into the
fur.
mess, into the mistake zone, so that I could then show you, at least from that point moving forward, how to fix it and get out of it.
You need a little something else. You're adorable, but you're not enough.
Look in the Hotels.com app to find your perfect somewhere.
I don't want to give you hair.
On the toast.
Because I kind of like this, like the face look.
Crazy good.
I do feel claws would be great, but
It's science. Lysol laundry disinfectant.
I don't think I have anything.
Only the PC
No.
money is not more to meet the making and spending I already do.
It rained pretty much all day. They were off and on, but when it came down, it bucketed down.
Like I would like to have like
A few minutes in between each time. I huddled in underneath here, just stayed in real close,
Hello?
and I managed to stay dry just barely. And the major
hello. A little bit, yeah. Nothing in the basement, working on some things. What'd you say? I'm sorry, you keep breaking up on me. No, I can't understand what you're saying. Text it to me. Good night, love you. One thing I'd do if I had the money, I'd give my mom a fucking decent phone. I want like claws coming out like that. Actual claws. But I don't have enough of these to do that. Something else, maybe? Nope. Let's see.
bonus was that all night long, it
Oh, right. Yeah, thank you for reminding me, Mom.
I don't have bucket. Yeah. I've got a few items with me here.
Polymer
Not much.
clay, spendy.
Back camera gear, socks, and one t-shirt, a machete, and a way to sharpen it. I've got a soup support.
I completely and utterly forgot. Side project.
Monica. And I had a bottle of water last night, but it's empty now. If there's some more clean
Come here,
water
baby.
here without bugs in it, I'll
Oh,
fill it
shit.
up.
You're
Take
not
some more
glued
water
yet?
with me.
Alright,
I've got to go
moving
deeper into
now.
the jungle, and here, going deeper means going up. Oh, that's good. And going up, there's not likely to be much water. On a small jungle island, I've chosen to stay deep in the mountainous interior to survive whatever Grenada has in store for me. But trekking through terrain like this is always tough going and full of surprises, most of them painful. That's where I'm headed. Up there. There are little tiny, they call them tracks, little tiny trails riddled throughout these jungles. But it's tough to stay on them. They're small and not very noticeable. There we go. Straight up. It's so steep I'm gonna have to use handholds to get up, and I don't.
One of the trickiest things. First of all, the most difficult thing in survival filming is filming the travel components. Really tough to do. Time consuming. You try to get the wide shots and so on and so forth. Very difficult. But add to that, trying to film yourself climbing up any hill, rock face, whatever. Incredibly difficult, and it was always hard to capture these.
I don't have a hand to hold because one's got a camera, the other one's got a machete. Just a morning jaunt. A little stroll in the park. Snap an ankle here. And that's the end of it. Nobody's coming to get me.
Come there.
No. Where to find me?
And the reason for that is because I'm now nowhere near where the crew left me off. And it's go up there, you go
Up
in
this
there.
guy first.
And that's what I did. I went in there. And they would have no idea which trail I was going to take, where I was going to come out, or any of that. So even though I was technically able to walk out from this location, if I snapped an ankle right now, I'm stuck.
Always scanning around just to see what edibles. Maybe see a breadfruit tree. I don't see any fruit on it though. And that's been the trick too of it. So much, you're gonna be able to pick this, pick that. You get told that all the time. Well, the breadfruit's right there, but it's not in season.
That's the other thing about jungles that's misleading. You think of this, you can pick so many things and eat so many things. It's not true. I found there are places, just in North America and temperate zones that have a lot more to eat than the jungle. The jungle has a lot of big fat green wet leaves, but you can't eat them. So there isn't that.
That is not working.
When it comes to just picking and eating.
Give me a minute.
From my experience, I think there's actually more to we'll just call it picking and eating. There's more picking, the most picking and eating, tropical island stuff, right? That's probably the easiest picking and eating. But you can get more picking and eating in Ontario in the berry season than you can in the jungle.
Oh, there we go.
I saw a clearing and I looked up, hoping the trail would go over onto this clearing.
Oh, shit.
It's not, it's just going deeper into the jungle.
It's so important not to fall into the trap of only traveling the path of least resistance. It can lead you straight into a nightmare.
I'm gonna mark my own trail as I go.
Still too stuffy.
Make sure I can get back if I have
That's
to.
good.
It's really important when you blaze a tree that you do give it a good sized blaze. You want it up at eye level too, not down too low. You gotta blaze it on both sides because when you're coming back, you want to be able to see this. If you blaze it as you walk, always on the side you see, you forget to, that's not gonna help you. That's only showing where you went, not where you gotta get back to. My challenge is to survive in this jungle. My way of survival is always a proactive style. Keep moving, cautiously and slowly. See what I can find. Always searching out the advantages and ways to make survival easier. All right, try to pick up the trail. Not so easy, is it? Oh, yeah.
This bunny.
Now, at this point, when I say pick up the trail that I'm picking up, you're really looking at tiny little indentations. That's why it's good to become a big
That's pretty
tracker.
coarse fur.
Because oftentimes the trail is not obvious like a sidewalk. It's very subtle, and it can be. I've followed trails for miles before that you could almost not see at all, and it comes down to a very slightly different impression in the ground. And then you get to a section where, oh, here it is again, where it's obvious. But in between the obvious sections, it can be very difficult. And of course, this is a jungle. And depending on the ecological area that you're in, you know, a jungle will swallow up a trail in less than a year. You know, even a temperate forest in North America can swallow up a trail pretty quickly. And now you're reduced to just spotting those few zones that last a little longer.
These guys?
I use so much fabric softener on this guy. I washed him so many times, but his fur is just coarse.
Trail finding, tracking and trail finding. Vital skills to add to your survival toolkit.
Nothing more than a harmless millipede, right? Wrong. These little suckers bite.
The moment when everything lines up. The call of P4. Experience like never before. The anticipation of the reveal. The bounce before the ball lands on red. Or black. Excitement in an instant. And choice as big
Oops, sorry.
as the action.
So, yeah, I watched this a couple of times, but the fur is just naturally coarse. It's not soft. It never got soft, no matter how much I brushed it or washed it or used fabric softener.
Filling in the paths
So,
you make.
let me get some eyes on you, honey bunny.
Behind the machetes. Trail just goes straight down to a river there.
It's another one of those stupid ones. I got these by mistake. I was supposed to get like the nice big eyes, but I never got them.
I'm gonna backtrack.
So, I'm gonna see if I can scrape the wolf off these and see if I can do anything with them. You can do anything. Find it matching.
Important point there, you know, no harm, no shame in backtracking. And backtracking has saved a lot of lives. You can't keep pushing forward. It's like, you know what, this is not making any sense. Fine. Go back to where it is and start again. Start from there.
There we go.
I have saved myself a lot of grief
Good.
by backtracking to make sure either
Ooh, I
vindicating
can add the fangs
to
too.
myself that I was on the correct trail or correcting the form.
A lot of big fangs, but
I hate feeling lost.
I have to get that off though.
If I have a nemesis in survival, it's my own sense of cockiness that almost always leads me into dangerous places without many good options. The emotions of frustration and embarrassment compound and conspire to undo many of the better proactive choices I've made up until that point. My experience tells me I should always know where I'm going, but the jungle challenges that constantly.
I'm just gonna say here for the filmmakers out there, this was the era where the drones had still not become ubiquitous. You know, you had to hire drone crews to come and film stuff, and it was all just getting going. So this is before that era, and you can see by the GoPro I'm using, it's probably version number 2 maybe of the GoPro. They were still kind of crappy back then. They did the job for what their purpose was, and obviously. But that's sort of the era that was in here. I'm still bouncing between my Sonys and my Canon cameras. But yeah, no drones yet. And crappy GoPros.
I'm lost again. Trail's going
Yep.
down there. Just not a good sign.
Alright, let me go grab the hot glue gun.
Got back, the trail's disappearing again. And that's the worst sign. Oh, I'm locked in tight here. Can't be said enough. The wrong injury here spelled disaster for me. You just can't let an injury happen.
And that is so vital. You know, that is why Survivor Man was a show that was calm, cool, and collected. It wasn't all sensational, like jumping around, jumping out off of cliffs into gorging rivers, because that's stupid. And that's not survival. It's not what you should be doing in survival situations. So often I would be in a position like this. Romania was the same, where it's like, wow, never mind the filmmaking, I gotta slow down. I gotta breathe, I gotta make sure you don't snap an ankle. It kind of always comes down to either poking something in your eye or snapping an ankle.
Trekking and even crawling my way through the jungle on the island of Grenada, the need for water starts to become a priority for my exhausted and dehydrated body. Now, this is fresh rainwater. That's what this is. It's not a stream at all. There's enough here I can get rehydrated again. Perfect. All right, well, that's enough climbing for one day. I'm gonna make that my destination, see what's up there. There's water here.
All right.
There's food up there. I might have a spot. All I really want to do is get to higher elevations, where hopefully there will be a change of ecosystem, and I might find
Right.
more plants.
Ducky Face is too heavy,
that are edible.
so his butt needs some more beans. Looks like he's just...
I can't get footing anywhere on this. It's all slippery. Plan B. That wasn't plan B.
Up bones. There we go, make a little space.
Those are called.
Now you can imagine, you know, here I am trying to film this kind of stuff, and then along come those other shows, and they got full crew and safety ropes and all that sort of stuff to film their stuff. Why I would watch some of those, you're kidding me. This was some tough stuff to film. It really is difficult to film yourself in these
A
situations.
bit more.
And
It's a bag of
that sort of GoPros, this property thing, where they really came to my rescue, because I could leave them running, and they just brought those gnarly ass shots when you're trying to go up or go down or build something or whatever, that I could not get by setting up a camera. There's no way I was going to set up a camera like I have right now. This camera's set up, looking at me. I wasn't going to be able to do that while I'm climbing up a rock face, a slippery cliff area sort of thing. So the GoPros really came to my rescue in these situations. I was glad they were invented when they were.
Flamma ants, fire ants. And I just climbed up over top of their nest, so hopefully nothing's hitched a ride on me. And two hands are not. This is not. All of this is either very slippery rock or it's just compacted mud and it just falls away. I'm saying this route is a no-go. Between the fire ants and the steepness and the slipperiness and this pack on my back. Try the other. There's a little ravine over there. I can't talk anymore. Look up it, go up it a little bit. If not, I'm gonna have to head back. That's a long walk back.
You could see there that clearly I had been slipping and sliding and falling. I'd even broken open the GoPro camera case. Hey everyone, allow me to interrupt myself. I don't really like hawking merchandise and swag, but you guys do ask all the time where you can get certain items. For example, check this out, Hennessy hammock. I put a lot of time and effort into designing this hammock with Hennessy. It's their top hammock. It's an amazing, beautiful, comfortable hammock to enjoy for all of your adventures out there, so just check it out. It's got a full-size tarp, which is a big thing for me. It's got insulation, and I love it. So I've got the Hennessy hammocks. Of course, for years I've been in a phenomenal relationship with Hella of Norway, Hella Knives. And this is our signature knife, of course, the Tamagami. These knives are handmade. In fact, I've been there to this very ancient factory where I don't know how many, well over 100 years they've been operating, and every single handle is handmade. All of the grinding, everything is done by hand. And these knives are absolutely beautiful. I also now have a brand new relationship And you will see these items, new forging tools that I'm designing with LT Wright Knives out of Ohio. And also, Chef Paul Rogalski of Wild Harvest has the signature Chef Paul Rogalski kitchen knife collection. Those are a big thrill to me.
There we go.
These beautiful
Oh,
items.
sitting up lovely and
that we spent
handsome now,
years
isn't he?
designing,
Yes, he is.
And I still have them available for you. However, if you want to go more the route of just enjoying the Survivor Man legacy, if you will, then of course, go to my website, lescar.ca, go to the shop
Oh, we
page.
hope not.
Right there, you've got everything.
See how
All
hot
the
that glue
swag,
is?
all the merch.
It holds
such
just
as
fine, and my skin is still
manual on
attached.
survival. This is if
That-
you want to get into survival, this book is meant to be a way to walk you through step by step, because I deal a lot more with concepts than I do with specifics, because that's really important. Once you understand the concepts of fire by friction, for example, you can do it depending on where you are, because I can't give you the advice on how to do it here in Canada and hope that it's also going to work down in the jungle. Things are different. So I've always been very proud of this book, Survive. So that is my survival manual. Also, if you weren't aware, I've got the book Will to Live. I wrote this book well, it's kind of for a lot of fun. I took my 10 favorite survival
bit more.
stories, such as Chris McCandless Into the Wild or the Robertson Family and the Life Raft, and I basically dissect them with this book. I tear apart the story, I go through everything, and I even give them a little bit of a grade on how I thought they did. So I really enjoyed writing this book. It's a real easy read, it's a fast read, but I think there's a lot of insight there for you into all of these different examples of people who have either survived or perished. Speaking of books, so honored, so thrilled, so proud that Wild Outside, my first children's book, has won the Yellow Cedar Award, Best Nonfiction Children's Book in Canada for ages 7 to 14. I tell stories from Survivor Man, lessons learned during those expeditions and adventures, and there are even activities they can do in the outdoors. So there you go. My new book, my children's book, Wild Outside, On the Road to Survivor Man.
Where are you?
Just won the Yellow Cedar Award, and I'm up for another award yet. And in keeping with stuff that's going on right now, we are also up for an award for our Season 1 recipe book from the series Wild Harvest. And if you've never cut the series Wild Harvest, check this out.
I think I remember Wild Harvest. They were in Yarmouth one time.
Oh my god!
Shark, I think they were eating.
The most incredible kitchen scenario I've ever had.
How do you create a dish where the domestic ingredients don't overshadow the wild ingredients?
This dish is a showcase of how great these foraged ingredients come together.
It's the best when it's its own flavor. When you're making something with a wild edible, you're nailing it and not losing the wild flavor. Tell me that doesn't look awesome. 2 seasons right now, 26 episodes. In the United States, it's on PBS stations. You can also get it on this YouTube channel. In Canada, Cottage Life TV. In Sweden and Norway, on Matt Catalan. It's on National Geographic. Asia, which includes China and India. So my Wild Harvest series is playing around the world
Never
now.
had anything in
And
China.
we, with every single season, create a recipe book based on the recipes that we show you in the actual shows themselves. So that's Wild Harvest. And of course, if you want the DVD, you can get that on this website as well, lescar.ca. And let's not forget to
There we go.
and I'm a
Some nice big fat.
CDs
What do you think?
themselves are available on the website. The next release will be the re-release of the Mother Earth album on vinyl. But go on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to music, or on you go to the shop page and all of my CDs. So this is the last one. This is my 20th anniversary selection. Check it out. Every film I've ever made, 76 films in all of the Survivor Man, Bigfoot, Beyond Survival, music documentaries, one-off films such as the award-winning Lalash about the shooting up in Canada and a healing canoe trip. This is my 20th anniversary. 76
Goulash.
films.
Why do I not know
And
about that off
people
the top of
that
my
have
head?
picked this up have raved about it. And I'm really proud that I can say I've got 20 years of anything, to be honest with you. That's available for you as well.
20 years.
On
All I got is
Let's
20 years of
Grab.
crippling depression
Okay, that's me hawking my stuff.
and
Back to the
self-loathing. Come on, you. Yeah.
Well, I didn't quite find what I was looking for. Long way to come. I'll find what you look for. This is reward enough.
Climbing has yielded me nothing advantageous, just more of the same jungle. If you look at this area from a plane or a map,
you'd think you could just walk out and down to the coast. But that viewpoint means nothing when you're on the ground.
I'm going to show something here that might seem a little benign, but in the world of woodsmanship and survival, it's a skill that I value highly, and that's the ability to sharpen a blade.
I remember wanting to show this for years in survival. I was like, I've never taught sharpening. And knife sharpening is another complementary skill set that you should have for survival. And there's a book, I can't remember, but it was written by the guy who was a champion, there's championships in sharpening. This guy was the world champion in sharpening. He could shave with his axe kind of thing. I remember reading his book and it taught me an awful lot. And then I picked up the Lansky sharpening kit. That's what I use. So I'm sitting at the cabin in Toboggan, Ontario, even here at the house, and wow, sunset's beautiful. I would set up a knife on my little Lansky sharpening.
There we go.
And
Well, he's ready for his horns
I highly
whenever they get done.
getting those. They don't cost me or anything, but I highly recommend those little tabletop Lansky sharpening kits. Anyway, let's get into
rabbits.
seeing how this guy sharpens his machete.
Dull blades cause more accidents than anything out in the wilderness. You want your blade to always be super sharp. That way the effort to cut anything is easy. And
Take that note. The reason why a super sharp knife is safer than a blunt knife, you think, well, if it's super sharp, you can cut easier. No, with a super sharp knife, you can cut through things without a lot of stress and struggle. When it's dull, that's what people cut themselves on dull blades, not sharp blades.
not force. Now, what's happening here is I'm only going against the blade. You can see that. You don't do this. Never do that when you're sharpening. So it's always in one direction. That's one thing. Same angle, keep going. What should end up happening is on the underside, it should almost get like a burr, an edged burr, because I'm not sharpening that side at all. I'm just sharpening the one side, so it's like the metal will curl over and give me a burr.
I think this is probably one of those scenes that I said to Barry Farrell, the editor. I don't care what you do, you got to include the blade sharpening scene. I'm dying to get that in the Survivor Man episode.
Alright, so I've got my burr. Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, at this point, I'll go too far and I'll create a burr on the other side. I actually like to do that. I like to go too far and create the other burr and get myself a really beautiful edge, an edge that you can shave with. Now, you gently can feel with your skin, or what I like to do a lot of times is drop it and see if it catches my fingernail. If the sharpness of it, just like that, like the weight of the machete is right now on my fingernail and catching. And I like that because that means that it's good and sharp. And that's important. Because I've got to get some food. And it's right up there.
Going back and forth until the burr becomes a fine edge is the magic of sharpening, and a sharp edge means easier survival. And so there it is. That's me being very happy, geeking out on my survival stuff, getting in a teaching component that I always wanted to make sure got covered. And I don't know if you're going to see knife sharpening in any of these other shows, right? Again, the point being I'm trying to give you more skills, visually at least, as we go along. And that's one of my favorite skills, is being a good knife sharpener.
Right there. Palm hearts. The great thing about these palm hearts is they're plentiful. There's all kinds of them around. Sugars, starches, tender and juicy. This is going to help me get through the day now. I'm starting to feel a bit weak, but this will pick me right up. Another 4 or 5 there.
Some grip on that.
And I'm going to turn the cameras off and have lunch.
Through this thick jungle, this yielded me only palm hearts to eat. So I'll keep moving in the hopes of finding more fruitful areas.
I've been traveling a long ways, and I don't want to make the same mistake I made yesterday. I gotta start getting ready because I'm sure the night rains will be soon. That's what a good sharp machete does. Okay.
Did I chip my TV?
Now,
Jesus
I
fuck.
found a way to make this a little more substantial. Lots of material in the jungle.
Very good.
All right.
It has to be realized that building shelters takes a lot of time. There's no point to them unless they're really needed. It's a tough decision, but survival is always choice after choice. I just have to make the right one, or risk making things worse by my own inactivity.
Sun up a storm here, and all I've had is puddle water today. It's a bit of a dehydrated day, for sure.
At least this way, if the night rains do happen, much better setup now.
And one of the reasons for breaking up all this earth, too, and putting it that I'm not on a bunch of leaves is if there are any flamma ants or millipedes or tok ants crawling along, just a little easier to see them in the dark.
If the junk, you know, also the point here is that I don't mind using my blade for digging duties or any kind of rough job that the blade is necessary for, because I have and know the skill set, because I have the skill set and I know the skill of knife sharpening, or blade sharpening, whether it's an axe or a fine kitchen knife. It means I can abuse that knife, that blade, in a situation where I need to abuse it, and then turn around and sharpen it. That is the advantage of knowing how to sharpen a blade. Eagle is intimidating during the day. It comes alive at night, like some crawling, slithering, dark prison, and only the morning light brings escape.
Like that? What the heck?
I hate sleeping on the ground when I know there's big, nasty ants that crawl around at night.
Here we go. Right on cue. Middle of the night.
Okay.
Comes around. Has his
I
benefits.
still have the little fangs. I probably could re-stuff the head with a bit more.
It comes in really strong waves. You have a big swath that just came pouring through, and now it stops. It'll drip for a while, and it'll probably come up again. That's boring. Have I ever said something along the lines of "it's going to be a long night"? That it's going to be a long night again. Sitting in the mud, hoping that nothing's crawling on my back.
Oh, you got a wound. A battle wound, I see. Stitch that back up after.
I needed that. Dehydrated all day. And herein lies the yin and yang of survival. The rain can soak me through and cause fungus to develop, yet it rehydrates me. It can chill me down to the point of shivering even in this hot jungle, yet it can keep the flying bugs and mosquitoes away. Survival at best is an emotional and psychological roller coaster.
There's not a rock in the jungle that isn't slippery. And I'm going straight down.
There are only two directions in the jungle. Up, down.
Your water running. Seawater running. All right. Yeah. That's what I was afraid of. Sulfur water. It's hot. Probably upstream there's a big pool I could even get in. I can bathe in it. It's quite warm, actually, and quite ungrateful. We're still have to find an alternate source of water. Although with all the rain at night, that's keeping me hydrated for now. Doing reconnaissance missions like this are really important. As I call them, checking out your zones of assessment. This is my zone of assessment number 3. Walking fairly far to see what I've got. Just have to be really, really careful that I don't blow too many calories going for a reward of very small calories. Sometimes it pays off. Well, do you know where I can have a bath now? I see the clearing up here.
That doesn't all happen very often in a survival situation. I remember in Arizona, one of the very first episodes I ever filmed, and the very first Out of Canada episode I ever filmed was in Arizona, and there was a hot spring. I don't think I bothered to show it in the film because it was sort of away from where I was doing survival, but on the way in, on the way out, it was awesome. So it's amazing how many little hot springs there are out there. Though.
Oh, both of the
And
ribs right
if you ever
across
get
are
a chance,
ripping out.
Just soak your bones. It's pretty sweet experience.
That's where I'm headed. Of course, I went after a clearing yesterday. Got to the very top and found nothing.
You know what's cool is in Canada and British Columbia, and also to the north, Yellowknife area, the Yukon territories, there are hot springs right on the sides of rivers. So you're in water that might be 98 degrees and just loving it. And you're only a few feet away from a rushing, glacial, ice-cold river. It's insane. I've got this one moment where I'm butt naked in a hot tub, in a hot spring. People had gone and they'd sort of reinforced it with cement and stuff, so there was lots of, it was deep, you could get into it, and I was butt naked with a fishing rod, and I literally was 4 feet away from the river, casting and fishing and catching trout in the river while I was naked in the hot spring. So there's some beautiful places like that around. That's if you want experience of that. I'm not giving anything too big away because there's already tourists that will go there. But it's Pitt River Hot Springs. Pretty cool place to go.
Let's hope my fortunes are different this time. Oh yeah, it opens up all right. It's got to be an old jungle farm. Ooh, I see a coconut tree. That's where I'm first headed, right there. Doesn't look promising, but maybe there's something on the ground. Whoa! I hacked into this coconut just because I figured, oh, it's rotted. It's not going to be any good. I see what I can eat right in there. Here we go. Ha ha ha! Oh! Boy, I needed that. There's 4 or 5 more around here. I'll hack into them all. Eat them all.
You can go a long time living on coconuts, let me tell you. Super nutritious.
I want to try a sprouted coconut.
Boy, that's sustenance.
Tiny and old jungle farms exist throughout the island. They're often and mostly abandoned, but they remain productive with all kinds of fruit trees and plants, from mango and bananas to coconuts and pineapples. In fact, if you were on the run, they'd make a great place to hide out.
And that is how you come across plants you can pick and eat in jungles all around the world. It's based on indigenous cultures, different individuals
Wild orchards.
who actually make farms. Then they leave the farms, and the farms grow over. And then you can't even, in some cases, you can't even tell there was a farm there, except you start noticing that there's, a serious amount of banana trees or something like that. And they're there because of humans. There's so much that has been changed and altered in what we would call pristine forest habitat by humans earlier on, perhaps 100, 200 years before. Vancouver Island was once an oak savanna, and the perspective now is that it was the indigenous cultures that actually promoted the growth for years and years and years, doing different things, burning the forest, planting things, till they get what they want. So that's to be able to eat, to be able to harvest. That's how you come across things in the jungle. It's because it was actually part of the farm years ago. And it's long since grown over, but those trees are still alive.
Here's a mango tree. And up there are mangoes. They're way. And these ones on the ground that have fallen down are too rotted to eat. So I've got to find a way.
Is that one?
Knock down some of those ones that are way up there. I can't reach them. And I can see my way.
This coconut has given me a much needed energy boost.
Come on now. Can I do the yellow?
Ah! Yeah, 2! Check this out. Fresh mango. Right from the tree.
Too small.
Oh, yeah.
I got the wrong size and I don't like them. I want something bigger.
I can taste that just watching this right now. There's no fruit that you can buy at the independent grocer at Safeway or Walmart that will ever equal the excitement of being able to eat a ripe fruit right from the tree, right from the source. You know, they have that star fruit. You can buy star fruit in grocery stores. You can buy it in grocery stores.
Come on, I have to have a matching fucking pear in here somewhere of the right size.
Avocados, whatever, real avocado, go to Peru.
I would like to have a fresh avocado, but I cannot afford Peru.
It's a different beast altogether. It's like eating avocado ice cream.
I guess we're going with that one then.
So when I knew this was going to be possible for this particular survival expedition, I hope I find a tree, I hope I find a tree, I hope I find a tree. And here we are, finding one after 3.5, 4 days into it, and perfect timing. Now I'm going to start feeling free.
Yep.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, when other vacation rentals are just for likes, try one you'll actually like.
Royale Tiger Towel Paper Towel. Our most absorbent paper towel.
Motherfucker! Ah, my skin!
For cold and flu symptom relief, there's a comforting cup of Neocitrin, the power of soothing relief.
Even when the world pulls you in different directions, Australia University helps you find a way to move forward. A way to start ahead.
This is a good day. You hear about sometimes people go off and they live out in the wilderness or in the jungles, and they actually will slip into local areas to steal food and get right back to the jungle again. It's kind of what I feel like I'm doing right now. Well, I'm gonna collect a couple of these to take with me and look a little further and see what else I can find in this jungle reclaimed farm.
Though the rainwater I collected is refreshing, I always prefer to seek out good water out of the ground for its taste and mineral content.
There we go. Spring. That's not sulfur water. That's good fresh water. Actually, it tastes like mineral water.
Don't tell Nestle that.
I think that hummingbird wanted to come and get a drink, and I'm in his way. This is shaping up to be one heck of a day of good survival.
Trying to get bit by a fire ant, climbing the slippery rocks, and getting a little bit of then the next day survival, and I'm looking at coconut and mango and fresh spring water. It's a day.
Little area brings about familiarity and makes all the difference for survival. Evidence, no matter how old, of human activity, cut trees, clearings, all help to make me feel more confident and sure of what I need to do. Now is when my decision to stay put becomes the priority over constantly moving and seeking out more advantageous areas.
That is a vital situation. When you find yourself in a survival situation that starts to feel more familiar, like you find a cottage or a cabin, changes everything. It's the familiarity that gives you confidence, makes you more comfortable. When everything is unfamiliar, it can be pretty scary. And so just going into, in the temperate forests of North America, and you go into an area of the forest, however, it feels like, it's so open and beautiful here. It feels like I'm in a park. Boom, familiarity. Might not be, it might just be a clearing. But if it seems park-like, it's going to make you feel better. It's crazy how well that works.
We're talking my speed of fruit.
These look like limes, but they're actually just green lemons.
Oh, that's good. And this tree is a bit of a distance from my camp. In fact, it's quite a distance, but I know where it is, and I can gather a bunch of them, take them back to camp and enjoy.
Oh, it's a good thing I like sour.
Fucking eating lemons. Yeah, you like sour. That's kind of cute.
Don't do that at home.
Mangoes, lemons, coconuts, fresh water. With so many advantages, things are beginning to look up.
No.
And this only makes sense because, you know, in Grenada, in the island, it's not that big of an island. And so I was going to be in areas that other people have been through before. So you have those disturbances, you have these advantages that crop up. It only makes sense.
Well, it's raining.
Much hot glue. Okay. Lesson learned.
Funny thing. All this rain, cloud forest. It's a long hike getting to everything today. I know where the mangoes are. I know where the lemons are. I know where coconuts are.
There we go.
Most importantly, I know where there's some spring water.
Need your horns, little one. Need your horns.
Now, stay tuned here because we're coming up to a spot that was apparently controversial.
Was this the one where he runs into the locals? No, I'm gonna need more stuffing in you.
Just coming along here. This area's cleared, like I've been seeing.
Yeah.
Jungle Farm. And, where do you see what sits at the edge of the field? Yeah. Looks old and left behind, but there's a roof there. That's a heck of a lot bigger than my little orange garbage bag.
And I think this is the one where this dude who keeps trying to say that I just faked the whole series and everything was a bit cheap. Again, this little whiny little Bear Grylls wannabe. He said, "Oh yeah, well, what are the odds of you finding that shelter?" And you'll see, I end up not even using it. I can't use it. This is infested with fire ants. But what are the odds? The odds are good. The odds are good at finding garbage on the beach. The odds of finding cabins in some areas are just better than they are in others. I found a cabin in Norway because I was told you might find a cabin up there. And about the only time I knew when I was going down to actually get a particular cabin was in Labrador, because I was told when you get onto the snowmobile trails, there is going to be a survival cabin along there if you can get to it. And so I knew, which on my dog at the time, I knew that I should be able to find one. But otherwise, what are the odds? If the odds are good, what's your point?
This is great.
There we go.
Remember I talked about how
My
people
pants
go
up.
out here and build bamboo huts and hide away in the jungle? Check this out. Let's see if it's just simply abandoned or still in use. Well, doesn't look like anybody's using it. Except maybe now. All right, well, I'm gonna bring the rest of my gear forward then, because I'll still want to find a good running stream. And actually, I want to try some fish. Whoa! Comes on to Port Maine. I should be fine. Incredible.
I became proactive and found
So this punk basically said that, well, I was cheating because I this was set up for me and I knew it was there and I was going to just go to it. What a dumb commentary to make. And if I remember correctly, I'm unable to stay in it in the end anyway because of the needs.
hearts to eat. I found not only water and fruit, but also an abandoned shelter. These are the benefits of perseverance in a survival situation.
That was a long day, but a fruitful day. No pun intended. Between the mangoes, coconuts,
Gotta
the
figure
lemons,
out. I can't
now
pick
it's
up
time
anything.
for dinner.
Okay.
Aveeno Daily Moisturizing Lotion. Protect and prevent dry skin for 24 hours. Aveeno.
It starts with gooey goodness and ends with open sesame. It's a tasty grain of togetherness. Rice Krispies Squares bars.
Breathe it all in with Reactin.
We all want our dishes to look as great as our food, so add Finish Jet Dry. Because when your dishwasher starts rinsing, Jet Dry is released to make sure your dishes come out dry, practically spotless, and with the ultimate shine. Start with Finish, finish with Jet Dry.
So excuse me while I eat.
Okay.
I think I'm food drunk. That was a pretty bad smell. Food drunk on a survival ordeal. It's the first for everything.
I forgot how much food I got during this particular survival expedition, and you do get a bit food drunk. It's when you've been a long time without food and you have some. It's a kind of interesting and strange phenomenon.
There we go. Okay. Let's see if we can get you guys in.
Better night's sleep.
Ah, you gotta be kidding me. I am standing here. I'm not sitting. I'm not lying. I'm standing. And why am I standing? Because this place has come alive with fire ants. That's unbelievable. They're crawling all along the bamboo. I tried sitting down on the floor. It's just, the whole building's covered in
There we
fire
go.
ants.
Ejaculate.
All right, well, I'm basically in the barn now. Not much I can do. Just
Burn the place down.
going back in there. That's insane. I think I'm gonna be pretty much just curled here now in the dirt. Hope that the ants stick to the wood. Because, you know, ants don't crawl on the ground, do they? This couldn't be worse. No, couldn't be worse.
Oh, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, and thus goes survival. From an awesome day to a bad night with ants.
It's a constant roller coaster. Sometimes for every advantage I find, I run up against another challenge. Only perseverance will win the day when it comes to surviving the jungle. What a night. It only rained for about 30 seconds. But no worry, me and all the ants stayed dry. Pretty much spent the night just sitting. I think that's the hardcore reality of survival is you don't usually sleep at night. So you sleep during the day. When you're supposed to be looking for food. Which is what I'm gonna go do now. I've got lots of mangoes here. That's fantastic, so I know I can rely on that. I'm gonna head downstream, see if I can find another feeder stream that I can actually drink water from and maybe catch some fish.
There you go. You know, you have to mind your priorities and your advantages and disadvantages. You don't just leave something as advantageous to a survival situation as a cabin is because you think you should keep moving. Like, oh, this is, you know, and I can make do here. Now I couldn't use the actual cabin, unfortunately, but I could stay out in the barn area and still be protected from the rain. So that's huge, massive advantage. And I'm close to all these trees, so let's do it now. Let's go out you know, a wheel, spokes on a wheel. Go out in different directions to see what I can find. And that is a great way to deal with a survival scenario.
Does this look familiar? This sure feels familiar. Up and down, up and down. I'd still like to find a substantial running stream. I know they can contain large crayfish. And finding meat like that to eat will go a long way towards securing what could be, if I choose to do so, long-term survival in this jungle. This was that little risk survival kit that I had.
That's pretty much what I was looking for.
There we go.
Fishing line. Even a little lure. And a hook. I said I was gonna go fishing.
Hello.
Not for regular fish.
Decapitating teddy bears. I'm gonna use the stuffing for another project. I think I'm gonna turn the head into like a severed head purse.
And I've secured the fishing line to the top here. What'll happen though for fishing is I'll get some bait on the end and I actually stick it into the end of the rod like this. I hold on to it with one hand and my finger holds onto the fishing line. Then I take this, put it deep down into holes where I'm hoping the big crayfish are.
It was always exciting to learn a new fishing method in all of these locations I went to around the world. Just little different variations on fishing and hunting, gathering, capturing, and this was a new one on me. This was specific to the Grenada Islands.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
Bunch of jackalopes ready to go. I just need, you know, the heads.
Feed them through the hook. There we
I
go.
think I'm missing some bunnies. I think I have some bunnies in here.
I'm fishing for much larger crayfish. They can provide me with a very substantial meal. They're like a small lobster, sometimes as heavy as a pound or two.
That's a big crayfish.
One down in there. Nice size. You took all the bait almost.
Yeah, this will be like the bottom will be red. The zipper will be here with the string to go around your shoulder, and I want to get some like red beads and ribbon, and like have hang it down like it's a severed head. I did one before, but not as good as I could have. So hopefully I can get this one a little bit better.
The deep, dark under, I can't really reach my hand in. Can't fish if I do. I mean, they can be this big. Crayfish. So, lose a finger. So I think I'm gonna head downstream a bit, explore a little more. The most
We
important.
need something else. I just don't know what.
For a while.
Bugs?
Without proper hygiene in every survival situation, I run the risk of highly dangerous rashes and fungus development. Small ailments that can make a survival ordeal a horrible test of pain and journey.
I don't know how to jazz these up. I don't know what.
True story. And another true story is you feel human again. Being clean in a survival situation just enables you to feel human. This is not a Hollywood movie. There's no reason to be bedraggled. You're trying to stay alive and keep your spirits up. And so cleanliness and being organized and being strategic in how you're surviving, all of that promotes your mental well-being, your emotional well-being. It's vital for survival.
Downstream, a few hundred yards.
Not unlike life itself.
I don't believe this. I think I see coconuts. Oh. There it is.
It's so rare to be able to get green coconuts so easily. So this is completely a matter of survival luck. And I'm going to take advantage of it.
What do you think?
Catching up on
Yes,
my sleep
no?
as well. So that I can think more clearly and make better decisions on what to do next.
What to do?
I remember this moment.
I need to
This
doll
is
these
pure
up
heaven.
somehow.
This was just one of those times.
That
in
kind of
survival,
works
it's like,
for me.
Oh, yeah. And I just laid back and caught up on my sleep. It just is. I mean, every canoe trip I've ever been on, I've done this. And in the survival situation, when you get this opportunity, it's just like bathing, it makes you feel human again.
Without sleep, thinking clearly is impossible.
How's that? Nice bow.
There's simply been no need for fire so far in
Kinda
this
like it.
journey.
The
With
pink kinda
advantage of a
matches.
solid roof overhead,
At least it looks
it's time to make a fire
okay to
and enjoy
me
its
right
many
now.
benefits.
No matter where you are, how hot and dry it is, getting a fire going, it's still requires patience and long setup and very fine tinders. And then for good measure, I know this usually holds an ember. It's an old termite nest. Watch out for fire ants here. Let's try a little trick. Getting a fire going. We've got a bottle of water and some printer paper. Paper that was used just to test the ink cartridge. So what's important is black. So I'm gonna take it and fold it in four. I'm just looking for the spot where I can focus.
So this is one of these situations, kind of like the chocolate sand and pop can in the Kalahari Desert, where survival had now become a thing, and you'd see these YouTube things. Oh, you can get a fire going this way, and I would be like, okay, that one looks interesting. I'm not going to practice it at home, so let me see if I can do it while I'm filming Survivor Man when I actually need it. And so I literally pulled this one from YouTube. And sort of now at this point I'm being like a tester for these different ideas.
Any more sun? There we go.
I had the paper with my camera equipment.
Ah, there goes my son. I'm back.
I figure why not use it for the greater good.
Behind every Olympic organic yogurt is a happy grass-fed cow. Olympic Organic, where a little care makes a lot of good.
There we go. Kind of like that. It's getting there. Kind of matches the antlers and the horns and stuff, so it's good. I'll take it.
Getting the maximum refund is as certain as forgetting to put your phone on silent.
Grab the Taco Bell grilled cheese.
I sold 3 things on Etsy, and I'm having trouble just figuring out 2 of the addresses. So hopefully the purchasers will get back to me in the next couple of hours about the corrections to their mailing address.
There's a lot of clouds up there today. It's not helping.
That is the downside of the whole get a fire going with a magnifying glass kind of thing. You have to have kind of the perfect temperatures and the perfect sun for doing it. And in this case, too many clouds rolling in. So it's never as easy as people try to make it look.
I shouldn't have done the light, but
Well, it works really well on YouTube. Okay, what I'll try and do here is just simply use my flint and a piece of paper. So I have no magnesium shavings or anything like that. I think it'll
there.
work.
I feel a little.
I gotta do those. I'm gonna rough up the paper a bit. Just get some rips.
There we go.
So now this is different.
like
Now
that,
I'm
yeah.
doing something that I am familiar
Kind of
with
sweet
and
and
I
kind
know
of
can
dark.
work.
I like that. All right.
And I think this was also one of those, another controversial moment by the guy who thinks I cheated in Survivor Man. I can't remember. I don't even want to remember. I can't remember. But basically he said I cheated this whole thing, which is ridiculous because you can see me do it on camera, and it was kind of exciting because it was a cool little technique that I wasn't that familiar with. Fun for me to expand on.
I can't put this up anymore. I wonder if I can
I was never so
plug you.
that I tried to get fired over an ice cube. My friend, he can make an ice cube. I know a guy who can do it easily. I never went that far. Didn't care. But this was one that I thought was pretty cool.
Gently fold another piece over. Gently hold it together.
Oh yeah, I remember you said because of the camera edits, you could tell I was cheating. This guy was saying that a lot. You could tell from the camera edits he was cheating. What an idiot.
Feeding it some oxygen.
I need something here.
Piece of paper. All right, now we should have fire. There we go. There we go. Yeah.
This bow seemed to go, so I'll just leave him as he is, I think. A little hard on his foot.
Now we're talking.
That's gonna say done.
Just a simple technique, and like so many of the techniques that I would show, such as the water bottle before, if I fail on camera, I fail. What that dude who tried to make me seem like I was faking stuff doesn't get is that my failures were also in a way on purpose. I didn't try to fail, but if I failed, I let you see it, and because that's the true art of survival situations. You can see You know, it's like, oh, he didn't get it, you know. And then you're right there with me in these situations. And so often I would not practice certain new methods that I'd never done before I got there so that you can see me do them for the first time. If I fail, that's just reality. If I get it, then my excitement is palpable. Die, fire ants, die. I know you're inside there. Now that's what I call a meal.
Maybe I'll just keep this one.
Unbelievable.
I'm not really
I'll just go
thinking
down,
good today.
down. Walk my way out of here. My time here is done.
Oh,
This was
yeah?
effective jungle survival. I can go up and I find palm hearts. I go down that way and I find, you know, a river, fresh flowing water and coconuts I can grab. Go down this way and I've got mangoes and lemons. And that is good effective survival when I can have a base camp and fan out and find something in every location. Oh, I just remembered now something that didn't make it to this cut was me climbing a coconut tree. Again, you know, Barry would have decided, I was like, you know, it just didn't really fit in. We were out of time. We got to keep it to the 45 minutes. And it wasn't an important part of. But there were times when I would film Survivor Man that I would overshoot. I would get more content than the editors knew what to do with, and that's a great place to be in as a filmmaker because then they can pick and choose only the best content. I'm doing that right now with Wild Harvest. You know, Chris and I are going through, and Luke are going through the season 3 of Wild Harvest, and a couple of the episodes we overshot. It's great because then you say, "Wow, this is really awesome." But we've got stuff that is awesomer. And so this one's not going to make it in. That's a good position to be in as a filmmaker. A bad position is to be thinking, oh man, we need another scene. We don't have it, so how do we extend this scene? That's an awful conversation to have in the edit suite. That's jungle survival for you. Within every generalized ecosystem, every square mile has its own unique life to it. Within places we give general
I don't have
descriptions
any
to,
pom-poms.
there survives a unique
I mean, I do,
collection
but they're
of
tiny,
characters
tiny.
that if destroyed, is not repeated anywhere else on this earth. Jungle survival is intimidating to the outside observer, but more intimidating is not having a jungle to survive in at all. The Amazon is different from the Congo. Papua New Guinea is different from Grenada. Though we refer to them all as just jungles, what makes any one area special is the fact that it's a deep, dark, dramatic example of a living and breathing planet. And in this respect, the Grenada jungle stands out as a pristine and beautiful example of the place we refer to as the jungle. Cool. All right, guys, there you go. That now.
I don't have pom-poms, but I have beads.
5.
I have beads.
And
I have crystals.
No, not tomorrow.
I
But,
can't use those
that's Friday right now.
crystals.
So on Sunday, I'm going to go. I'll come back and do the next one. Oh, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be the one that I did with the fan episode, as we call it. So we get to that. It's going to be cool. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next Director's Commentary.
Okay. I'm gonna shut that off. Done. Okay.
Hey everyone, it's almost Halloween, so you know what time it is. It's time for another Fierce Snap. I'm super excited for episode 4. I can't believe we're on 4 already. That went by so quick in my head. But yeah, we're almost at the end. 5 episodes total. Ironbark Lookout for today. Let's see what there is to look out for. May 12th. Ah! Hey, I noticed you were requesting story submissions while I was watching a YouTuber play First Fathom Carson House. What I'm about to recount happened when I was 24 or so at the time. It feels kind of weird telling anyone about this because of the bizarre and absurd nature of the whole thing, but I feel like doing so might help me
Who says
process my
the word
memories.
blurb?
I knew that sharing the story anywhere else would be a
Oh my
downfall
God.
because people would say I was lying. As I'm writing this was the scariest.
I'm gonna do
experience
nips
of my
instead.
life.
I'm doing nips.
Jack Nelson had a small job as a park ranger in State Park. I was a fire lookout stationed in one of the largest forests in the Pacific Northwest. Miles and miles of dense forest managed by the Forestry Service. I had a salary that allowed me to make ends meet. But I couldn't afford to treat myself to restaurants, nice clothes, etc. My biggest accomplishment so far was being able to buy an RV for myself with a lot of financial help from my dad. That RV was the only sense
Putting
of
nips
home
on
I
him.
had at the time.
Stylish nips.
This one time I was transferred from
Okay.
one outpost to another because of some official circumstances. It was a minor inconvenience to me, though, since I lived out of my RV and liked traveling. I said a few goodbyes and was off to the new location. It was about a 2-hour drive. Oh, that's not too bad then. Ah! Let's go! Wow, ooh, you have a lot of space. Oh, right, it's an RV. Woo! Woo! I can't drive the text. Sorry, Kayla. Okay, I'm almost off the road. How do you look at two message things at the same time? Okay, let's see. Kayla. This new regional manager is such a jerk. Honestly, sometimes I wish I had a job like yours. Waking up in nature, away from people, just getting paid to watch the wind go by. I wish my job was really that easy, Kay. I'm honestly done with this job. Pretty sure joining you next season. Like I said, you're always welcome here. Let me know if you need me to talk to Josh. It's definitely the time for a change. Speaking of change, Ironbark? They're staffing me to Ironbark next month. The one after Roseburg? Yeah, I heard they got bigger staff cabins and less campers. Call me. With that, I'll call you back. How's it looking? Still on my way, Van decided to pull a flat tire on me today of all days. Isn't it late? If I don't start to death before arriving, I'll be fine. Past Rosenberg yet? No, why? And Mitch. Congratulations on the transfer. Feeling ready for the change. Just reaching out to you to tell you that you've been assigned to Tower 11. Welcome on board. This is Mitch, by the way, from Ironbark. Thank you. Heard a lot about you from Josh. Very excited to meet you soon.
Got him some nips.
Today. Shift starts on the 12th. Sounds good.
And I'm gonna put some little purple crystals in his boob. His
Josh told me
titties.
the job is not new to you. Can I just ask you one question? Sure. Why did you pick this job initially? Not sure how to answer that. I just enjoyed the thrill, or the lack of it, I guess. I'm sorry. I just asked this question to everyone joining this line of work. People join looking for a getaway or to discover who they are, only to leave without notice. Guess they're better off in a cubicle. To be honest with you, I joined Iron Horse last year not knowing what to expect, but solitary life has grown on me. For me, I can't do city life. This is where I belong. And I'm sure I could adapt just fine to Ironheart. Good. I hope you fare better than the last lady. Where can I park my van? So you're arriving on a Friday. Just park your truck around back on the gravel park at Gate D. Got it. Okay, Gate D, Tower 11. From there, you'll be on foot, take the Gold Creek Trail. From there, it'll take you a couple hours until you reach the tower. You'll probably see Billy at the gate just showing your ID. Okay, that was a lot to read. Lovely weather. I lived a very solitary life. Should have had a drink.
Same.
It helps quiet my mind, keep the memories at bay.
Okay.
Just some
You gonna get
lo-fi
some
beats, you know.
purpley
enjoy the
nips?
traffic. There's a truck coming. Whoa, so exciting! Look at that truck! Oh my god! And birds. Means there's a Legend of Zelda shrine down there. Just being surrounded by nature gives me happiness. Birds, the sky, the trees. I felt like I was at home in the woods. Kayla, so read text messages. How'd you do that? Again, I'm driving. Oh, houses.
There we go. Maybe they could have been further apart. Are they too close together?
Roseburg. Just.
Oh, you.
Oh,
Yes, where are
I can't go
those?
there.
Where is it?
Okay.
I just saw the flowers. Where are they? Haven't gone anywhere. Haven't done
Stop by
anything.
the road here.
I didn't put them back because I don't know where they go.
Man, this truck of yours.
Where the flowers go? Right here, dumbass.
I remember there's this diner while passing Rose Board. They have the best burgers in town. You have to try them out.
Try the
It's
yellow
really a good
ones.
meal before the staff starts. A diner. Shouldn't you turn the engine up?
blue, green maybe? No,
What's this saying?
it's brown.
Whiskey, dietas, accommodatori, elas, service. I don't think that's a diner. Oh, God. Maybe it's that thing in the back there. Oh God, saw the diner Kayla's talking about. Oh, dramatic zoom. Oh God, how are you gonna park an RV here?
I think
I
I
can't do
want
that. I can't drive. I can't
this
drive.
one.
Hey, look at that.
They have to be the same?
space. Meow.
I think I like that. Well, that's what we're gonna do anyway.
You have a rear view mirror. Well, it's just gonna have to fit, isn't it? And see how my parking job is. Like a glove? Dude, I have a bit of a dumpy, but it's gonna have to make do. Anyone suspicious here yet? Oh, that's a nice big burger you got there. He do a big munchie. How's that burger? This little piece of heaven. This place is pretty much my weekend spot. You new around here? New Stafford and Ironbank State Park. You must have heard the news then. The news. A few weeks ago, 3 kids went missing in the park. It's been all over the news. What happened to them? No one knows. The official report says they got lost, but a lot of people around here think something else happened. Something else? There's a rumor going around that a creature got them. A creature? Yeah, you know, like Bigfoot or Goatman. People say there's something like that living in the forest. Do you believe it? A lot of hikers and campers go missing in that forest. Some of them come back with stories you would not believe. Some of them never come back. Okay, you enjoy munching on that burger there. I saw a shadow of a bird, but I don't see the bird. Tasty food here. Oh boy, I do love
Don't
myself
far
some
enough
tasty
down,
food.
okay?
Oh, she coming. Oh, she coming. She's coming right for me. Actually, no, she's not coming right for me. Are you going to hit? Oh, she's coming for me. Welcome to the Out Here Diner. How are you doing today? Good, how are you? Feel free to take any seat you like and I'll be right with you. Alright, thanks. How you doing over there, buddy? Oh, he's so happy you got the good food. Please leave me alone. Sure thing. You look a little lost. I'm just passing through. Where are you headed? Starting my new job at nearby State Park. Oh, that's great. I didn't know these jobs still existed. What do you do? I work in finance. I'm a financial analyst for a big firm downtown. Do you like it? Yeah, it's challenging, but I enjoy it. It keeps me busy, that's for sure. I don't think I can have a job like that. It's not for everyone, that's for sure. But I find it very fulfilling. Please take a seat on the right side. Which one is in the restaurant? Right over there. Thank you.
It's gonna match.
He doesn't say anything. How's the food? He just stared at me. Dude. You've been burying some dead bodies? Maybe like 3 kids? Mind if I join you? Pretty long day at work, huh? Long day of driving? Where are you headed? Heading up north to make a delivery. What about you? I'm Stafford at Ironbark. So is it true? Whatever they say happened to those kids the other day? What? I need to go. Ooh. Can I go?
There we go.
I want
What do you think of that?
to talk to you. Okay, restaurant.
It is centered, damn it. There we go.
Can I peek?
Okay.
Oh God! From downtown. I
And
spilled. Oh God, yeah.
crystals in. And time for his nippies.
Oh, I can point it. Try again. Oh, I was. Ooh, you look
didn't pick up anything without
You
nails.
better wash those hands. Maybe wash your shoes while you're at it.
Oh yeah. Got him some stylish little nips happening.
Okay, NEC LA, huh?
I'm gonna need a little trim though. Need more trim
I
so
would
that.
like to have my back to everyone. Maybe here. Quick, look at the menu. Ah, I don't know what I want. Ah. Oh, shit. Go ahead. Good evening. I'm Barbara. Are you ready to order? Yes.
There we
What
go.
can I get for you? Cheeseburger with fries, grilled cheese sandwich, onion rings, meatball sub. Has to be cheeseburger. Our burger is the best in the West. Would you like anything to drink? Orange Coke. Perfect. Anything else? That'll be all, thank you. I'll bring the food out as soon as it's done. Just let me know if you need anything else. That's good. Appreciate it.
Here's what I need.
Put down my order. We got a burger and a large Coke over here. Hello, Tristan. What's he doing? Eating.
That's suspicious.
Yeah, why don't you have a shovel? Maybe he's treasure hunting. Maybe he has like a metal detector in his car.
Actually, my friend has
Could be.
one. At least has access to one, so maybe we'll do that
I've
system.
always wanted to try that, the metal detector.
It's
Just
fun.
go around somewhere, see what you can find. Even if it's just like bottle caps or something. Thanks. Okay, bye. Consuming burger. Burger and fries.
See, they found
That's a
something,
huge wig.
and it was like a yard sale, and I wanted to buy it.
Figured it'd be a
Those
while before I had
little,
to be
like,
this again.
There we go.
Just bundle them all
Like,
together and
Vintage tin duck rattle.
now do a big sippy.
And this was, I was probably like 12 or something. So like metal detectors were just becoming something people could access without being in like the archaeological field.
Miss, I did a
And
big sippy.
it was at a yard sale, yeah. So how much?
Did you enjoy the food?
I give you $5 for the little
Would you
little
like to
duck.
have anything else?
And they were so fucking offended
Can
that I offered them $5 for this little duck 5 years ago, or 10, what, 20 years ago. Because they had found it with a metal detector,
Invisible feet are tied.
as if how it was found changes the value of the object.
50.
I don't know what the logic was behind that, but they were so offended that I wanted to, they found it in the backyard with the metal detector. So they thought it was worth fucking gold or something. Anyway,
Hopefully he didn't.
got his
think
nips on. What do you think?
I peed on the floor to spite him.
Is that everybody?
You have a good day now.
I do feel like you could be more. I just don't know where.
Organic cotton for this price?
I'm gonna have to go on Wish and get some nice big like head spikes for him.
Our buyers
think
spend
that's what I'm
every
gonna
day
end up
hustling
doing.
for the brands you love.
All right, I think
So you
I'm gonna
don't
call it
have
a
to.
night. It's not my longest stream, but
We get the deals, you get the
I'm tired.
Marshalls.
Okay, you guys have a good night.
Join your local Tim's for more than just serving coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
In 30 seconds.
Do, 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 do. I said go away. There we go.